Okay, so like I was telling you, this right here is one of the levers, and if you can see it, I'm going to turn this right here, this wheel right here, and if you notice, I'm going to try to focus back. So if I turn this, as you can see, that is kind of going up inside there. With that, you're going to pull this all the way up. See how it went up? And on the side here has a little spot or a little slot where your thread is going to hang in here. Okay? And I'm showing all these basics, and I will show you how to thread your machine. Every machine is different, but I want you to learn these things, because I have some people where, well, where does this go? Where does that go? So these are important steps. It might seem redundant, but once you get past this, you'll say, wow, that was a really good lesson, you know. With that, it comes from the back, up around, okay? Thread goes down into this slot right here. And there's a slot and it comes down. And right here has a little U right here. And it goes back up into this slot right here, and which will come up, and it's going to go around this little slot that you just saw right here. Then it's going to come down, okay, and then there is a little spot right here, and usually most machines have this little hook right here. And once you get to that point, you know that you're ready to thread in your thread through your needle. And with most needles, there's a little hole in here, and it goes from front to back. Always remember, never back to front, because your machine, it has a mind to where it knows what goes where. Okay, I mean, if you're driving stick shift, like we said about the car, if you're driving a stick shift, you're not going to start at fourth and go to first. I mean, that's just pretty basic. Right here is a screw, and this loosens and tightens, and that's where your needle goes in. And usually with the most needles, there's a round part and then there's a flat part. So with this one, it'll, you know, you can't get it wrong. I mean, it's just really not rocket science. It's very easy. Now, lastly, underneath here, they usually have these removable little levers right here. I'm going to set that right here. And they usually, most machines will have this right here for cuffs, sleeves, small spaces, you know, if you're going to make a little kid something, or grandbabies, little newborns, you know, they have little bodies. You don't want something where it's going to have this one. So take this one off, and sometimes when you buy machines, and I've already taken mine out, they'll pack a lot of goodies in here. Make sure you look at those, look at all your accessories, and look at your directions to what it comes with and what is used for. But we will be going through all that as well through our lesson. It has a little door right here. This is like your basic. Like I had told you before, some have the drop in, okay, on the top. Those are for your little fancies. But like I said, if you're just starting out, please don't buy an expensive machine. If you get to the part where you know what you're doing and you're on your way and you've got to the advance, go buy that machine, because that machine's going to do a lot of great things for you. But this right here is fine. Fine, fine, fine. I mean, I do blue jeans. I do all kinds of crafts and everything on this machine. I bought it like I said, brand new on eBay for $12. And out the box, I mean, 4 or 5 years later, it's still working great. Okay, so don't spend your money, a lot of money, on things that you know. There's just all these bells and whistles on there, and he's like, ugh, it's overwhelming. Get something easy, get something simple. That way you know how to work it, and then get something later as you go along. Now this right here is your bobbin case, okay? And all these little things right here, just for right now, don't worry about those. But up underneath here, if you can see it real good, up underneath here, you want to keep this clean under here. I usually just blow it, get you a paintbrush, a little tiny brush, makeup buffing brush, something that's old that you're not going to use again, hey, take that, and I clean that. I'm very frugal. I use what I need to use. I don't throw things away. But yet keep this up here clean and this down here clean, because it will inhibit your project. And when you start having loops on the bottom or loops on the top, then you know, 1, it's dirty, 2, the timing's off, or 3, something's not threaded right. So don't panic. It's okay. This right here, like I said, I'm going to pull this out right here. This has a little lever, and you pull this out, and don't let it freak you out or nothing. Now, with this one, I'm going to lay this one down, and then here, I'm going to show you inside here. This is where your case is. This right here is what sews everything. If this bobbin is in here in the case and it's threaded properly, everything else will do just fine. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead, and again, I'm doing this one-handed. As you can see, your bobbin's in there, and you have, this is your tension little screw, if you can see that. That tension screw, you wouldn't believe how it will mess up or do you good. So try not, usually from the manufacturers they have it right on a normal setting, but look in your sewing guide and it'll tell you, you know, how much to turn. You know, that's why trial and error. Just get a piece of fabric, scrap that you don't care, and sew a little bit. I mean, that's, before you get a project, please practice, 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 practice. Mama said practice makes perfect. As you can see, the bobbin's in here. I drop it inside the case. I do not take that screw out for nothing. And I take it and I wind it around the little hook there. It's going to go inside this little slot. I'm sorry, I'm paying attention. It's going to go in that slot. Going to go down. It's going to be coming out there. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out right here, and then I'm going to set this camera right here. Just hold on just a second. If I can't, I'm one-handed here. I've got the thread hanging out and everything where I need it to be. There's the thread. I'm going to grab this little lever. Okay, now you're going to have 2 hands. I have 1. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this lever. Don't let go of the lever. Now if you'll see inside there, see that where that little groove is? I'm going to put that right there. And once I know that's in there, I'm going to let go of that. Okay, got it? Now, if you need to rewind this and look at it again, please, 10, 15, 100 times. I mean, practice makes perfect. I've been sewing, oh goodness, Boys and Girls Club back in the 80s, if anybody knows about that. I mean, we had sewing classes back in 80, oh gracious, 1980, 70 something. Don't get me started on dates, but nevertheless, I mean, I was in the 7th or 8th grade, and I used to sew because we come from a family of sewers, and my mother started to sew, and when she would sew, I'd watch her. Long story short, I would always watch and pay attention. I practiced for many years. It's been pretty close to 30 years now I've been sewing, so I mean, give and take a little. I mean, yeah, you have to practice. This is the very vital step. If you don't do anything else, if you don't practice anything else, please practice this, because this will make or break. This is like putting oil in your car. You can't have brakes without the brake pad. Okay, we're talking about the car situation. But nevertheless, once you get this in here, okay, then you can let that little lever go. Now, if you happen to go ahead and buy one of those fancy machines, that's fine, but they'll have a bobbin in there, and of course your directions will tell you how that should go. And if I get a machine Later we'll get a machine and it has the top load, and 9 times out of 10 it has the same function as this one, but you just lay it down in there, get the thread, put it around that little groove, and let go of it. But what that does is it gives you, with this one, I like it for beginners because it gives you a lot more advancement as far as knowing what you're doing in case you have to get something like this. I mean, yeah, I like this one for beginners because it makes a lot of sense. Then you have your thread, which is that you have threaded, and I'll rethread that for you here in just a sec, probably, if not this video, the next one. And what we're going to do is, once it's through the thread is through the needle right here, and I'm sorry my camera's not focusing, and going through front to back, I'm going to put it through the presser foot. Now this is your presser foot right here. And the names they give these things. I know presser foot, the little teeth down here are feed dogs. Okay, so I'm going to put it through the presser foot, the thread, and I'm going to hold that. And once I'm going to make that go down. See how that went? And then I'm going to pull up on that. Okay, and make sure that goes all the way up. That needle needs to go all the way up. And once you go all the way up, continue to pull on that. And see the loop? Can you see the loop? I hope you can see it because my camera's cuckoo today. And then it pulls that thread. See, now you have 2 threads. From what was down there and hanging is now up right there. And now you're ready to sew. Real simple. When I sew, I always take all the threads through the presser foot and you put it towards the back and let it go. That way you don't have threads that are loopy, you don't have it hanging everywhere, and you have much cleaner work to work with. Then what we'll do is go ahead and, if I can, with one hand, and close this up, and I can't do it, but you'll close this up, replace this right here, back on here, and then you're ready to sew. Now on this one, you're going to go ahead, and I may go ahead and real quick and just give that to you, and go ahead and pull this out. I've taken my thread right here. Some have places on top, just whichever where yours. Mine goes in the back. And I'm going to stick it on the little spindle. Okay. And then right here on this one, it has this little hook. Right here. Right here. So you're going to go from back to front. Then you're going to go through here, down through here. Alright. Then you're going to go around this one, and sometimes mine will stick and I have to watch it. You're going to go back down this groove, up this groove, okay? You're going to go up, and I'm going to have to use my hand right here. Make sure that this thing is up, okay? Then go up, get that little right here. You see how that is? You're going to go through here, okay? Now you're going to go down, alright? And right here is the little hook. See that little hook? That's right here underneath. And now you're ready to thread from front to back. So with that, I've already got, usually this is the top is threaded first before the bobbin. Because if you change out threads and everything, you're going to want to do the top first in case you need to rewind or do the bobbin or whatever. On here, if you can see, levers are different. This little lever right here, and sometimes I have them in the back, locate where yours is at, and then push it down. be careful, please. Do not let it just drop. These break easy. So just take real gentle right here. And then while that's down, it lowers. See how that lowers your feed dog? Excuse me, your presser foot. And then you're able to take your thread and then thread your machine. And of course, this is like rubbing your head and patting your stomach. And then I am going to grab the other side, and also they do sell, oh, for Pete's sakes, they also sell, hold on just a second, give me just a